and a very warm welcome to, well, what is part 2 of Hi-Fi News. Part 1 was last week, and if you want to have a little look at it, you can click up yonder and you can gaze upon a whole host of Hi-Fi News items. And there's a whole lot more this particular month, so let's get to it. And first off, we're looking at Sennheiser, which has an upgrade to its Amber OS app. So, Sennheiser has released Amber OS to enhance its Amber soundbar performance while also updating its smart control app. With Amber OS, which is available for all Amber soundbars, the update supports Apple AirPlay 2. You also get Spotify Connect and Tidal Connect, and Wi-Fi is used rather than Bluetooth, which speeds up the processing. Apparently, the smart control app is now faster and more responsive. That's what the company tells me. The operating system also guarantees greater security and stability, apparently. Meanwhile, the rebuilt smart control app now includes something called Sound Check and also Sound Zones, it is. Sound Check, well, that guides you through 3 steps to find the right EQ preset for you. As for Sound Zones, well, that lets, well, another feature called True Wireless to use tailored EQ settings, noise cancellation, and Sennheiser's so-called transparent hearing to dynamically adjust the audio settings according to where you are and where you are in the room. Smart Control also offers you a higher level of personalization, so you can transfer settings and customizations between different Sennheiser devices. The in-app discovery area also provides product news and updates from the Sennheiser world. Oh, and the Smart Control app also includes an equalizer, pulls up digital user manuals, and provides you with the latest software and firmware. And to give you greater flexibility, you can also opt to control your Amber soundbar via a dedicated web interface. A free software and firmware update has already gone live, so anybody with it should already have it. Next up, we're looking at the P6 BT wireless speaker from Escape. The new P6 BT from Escape is a water-resistant, full-range portable speaker. The Bluetooth-capable P6 BT has 2 full-range 3-inch, that's what, 76mm drivers, coupled with a 7-inch, well, just under 7-inch, I think, 17cm subwoofer, powered by a 60-watt amp and a 24-bit digital signal processor. The P6 BT can be paired to another P6 BT to give you that stereo goodness, and you can mess about with tone controls on an associated app. You can expect 8 hours of use in between charges. Now, as this is portable, how much does it weigh? Well, you're looking at really 7.5 kilograms, and it's available in black, white, or tan. Price for this one, £599. Next up, we're going to look at a pair of UW100 wireless earbuds from Astell&Kern. Astell&Kern, or AK as I fondly call them, their UW100 works with a separate and dedicated AK 4332 32-bit DAC. Knowles balanced armature drivers are used in the design to run the aptX adaptive codec, running at 24-bit 420 kps. Support for Bluetooth 5.2, that's the latest variant, provides greater range and more stable wireless connection. Furthermore, anyone using a smartphone you may want to check this yourself, but if you're using Qualcomm's True Wireless Stereo Plus, you'll enjoy a more robust connection between both earbuds and the device itself. You also get passive noise isolation, and there are touch controls for commands such as, well, the usual stuff really: play, pause, skip track, volume adjustment, activating the ambient mode, answering calls, enabling the voice assistant from a compatible device, of course, and all that kind of thing. An iOS and Android app also allows you to customize touch controls, ambient levels, and different kinds of EQ settings. You get a grand total of 6 hours, I think it is, battery life, and a further 18 hours via the case, plus wireless charging, while the charging case supports fast charging. With a 10-minute charge, well, that will give you about an hour's worth of playback. Alongside the charging case, the UW100 comes supplied with a choice of 5 different sized silicone ear tips, and they are extra small, small, medium, large, and extra large. Plus, you also get a USB-C charging cable. Prices, well, I've got a whole array for you. This time around, we're looking at £249 or $260 or €299. Now, last week I looked at some in-car speakers from Kef. This time we're looking at in-car speakers from a company called Warwick Associates, and they're dealing not with the usual sort of speaker units, they're looking at electrostatic technology. Intriguing, hey? Warwick calls them electroacoustic panels for car audio use, and they're made up of 2 elements: a patented electrostatic transducer and a matched electronics drive module. Now, apart from the sound quality, Warwick Acoustics say that their electroacoustic panels are up to 75% lighter, consume up to 75% less power, and offer significant interior design and packaging freedom. Also, they do not use any unsustainable rare earth elements, and by that, I guess they're talking about neodymium magnets, the sort used in headphones, for example. These things do nasty things to the environment. I don't know if you know about this, and also the people around them when they're being mined, and especially when they're being refined. I'd recommend you check that out in Google. It's not a pretty sight, and the next time you put on a pair of headphones, it might make you think twice. However, these panels from Warwick can also be molded into all kinds of form factors and incorporated into almost all interior surface designs, which in itself creates lots of additional space in the car, because you're not looking at these bulky traditional speaker units. Price? Well, it depends on the car, doesn't it? Because it's all bundled in. But I'll put a link below in the description if you want to have a look at what they're doing and the technology behind it. And of course, I will put links for other companies in this video down below as well. And now we're going to India, and we're looking at a suite of, well, there's a whole raft of hi-fi shelving units from a company called Esthetica. So yes, India has produced a new hi-fi orientated outfit called Esthetica, and as I say, they produce hi-fi furniture. It apparently has a workshop in a place, I believe it's pronounced Gigan. Well, here's the name of the place below, so hopefully I've pronounced that correctly, where I hear that real people employ real skills creating real hi-fi shelving racks, and also AV racks and AV cabinets, and even headphone holders. The company is still pretty new. It's established distribution in Denmark, and I believe there are links already appearing in Germany and also the USA. This company actually belongs to a larger outfit called Esthetica Spa Furniture, and the larger company produces all kinds of furniture for five-star hotels and different resorts, and they've been doing that for the past 10 years. So this is a offshoot of that company. Now, reportedly, materials used in the racks include grade 304 steel, real and solid woods such as American white oak, teak, European sycamore, and mango wood. Plus, you also find anti-vibration hardware within the steel tubes, filled with damping materials, damping rings around connections, and a whole lot more. A few ranges have already been announced. There's quite a large catalogue, even from this standing start. So I noticed they already have something called the Octave range. There's the Chorus range, the Aria range, and the Harper ranges. Prices, well, as you may expect, vary widely because it depends on the configuration. But just to give you a few examples, those examples are, and I've only got dollar prices to hand at the moment, so examples are $430 for an Octave 3-tier teak rack, or $340 for a 4-tier Harper rack in American white oak, or $380 for a 4-tier American sycamore rack. Now, I have to say, this range interests me, and I might try and grab a review, but we'll see how that goes. Next up, we're looking at a pair of headphones from Rode. You might be more familiar with Rode's podcasting related microphones, but here they are with some headphones. The NTH100s are Rode's first headphones, a pair of over-the-ear headphones to be exact, featuring Alcantara covers and memory foam cushions for the ear cups and the headband. The design includes a pair of custom-matched 40mm drivers with a 4-layer aluminium alloy at its core. which is coupled to a triple layer mylar diaphragm. That's combined with a neodymium magnet and phase plug. Now, the headphones arrive in a range of colours and a range of lead lengths, specifically 2, if that's a range, 1.2 meters or 2.4 meters, and you also get a storage pouch. Now, Rode is really pushing the podcasting fraternity with these headphones, as you might expect. But I wondered if there was any reason to take an audiophile look at them. I'd be interested to know if anybody grabs a set of these, and, well, be interested to know what you think in terms of sound quality. Price for these, again, I only have a dollar price. I'm looking at $149. We're back to Sennheiser and we're back to earbuds with the next one. This time we're looking at Sennheiser's new CX Plus SE True Wireless Earbuds. There's a name and a half, hey. They use true response transducers with active noise cancellation. They also have what Sennheiser call the transparent mode feature, which makes it easy to focus on external sounds when desired, without the need to remove the earbuds themselves. Touch controls are customizable, so you can even tailor bespoke commands with these things. Each earbud is equipped with a pair of dual microphones that optimize speech for calls and voice assistant access. The earbuds have IPX4 rated splash resistance and a 24-hour battery playback time. Out now, the price is £160. So, 44 years on from its debut, Mission is bringing back the 770 speaker design. Now, these days, Mission is part of IAG, the custodian of British audio brands such as Audiolab, Castle, Leak, Quad and Wharfedale. The project's design and engineering team has been led by the very talented and very nice man Peter Como, who's Mission's current Director of Acoustic Design. Now, Como intriguingly was a rather young reviewer for the magazine Hi-Fi Answers back in the UK, back in what, the 1978 would it be? When these 770s were originally launched, and remembers their impact very well. Actually, a year later, Peter Como would co-found the speaker maker Haybrook. The new Mission 770s include a 20cm polypropylene mid-bass driver, like the original, with an upgraded, this time, motor system to take account of modern power handling and dynamic requirements. Like the original, the driver is built into a die-cast chassis. The new polypropylene cone features added minerals, and I don't mean vitamin C here, to make it stiffer than the original. This has been balanced by tuning the cabinet and reflex port to a very low frequency, avoiding the one-note bass. That's typical of a lot of bass reflex systems. The new 770's 28mm treble unit, well, that uses a lightweight, damped microfiber dome, backed by a damped rear chamber that pushes the fundamental resonance well below the crossover region. And as for that crossover, well, Mission apparently went through 170 different circuit iterations before they settled on their final design. The drivers and crossover, all that gubbins, well, that's housed in a veneered cabinet measuring 59cm by 30 by 30cm with that classic white laminated front baffle. The original 770 reduced mid-range coloration by using a sort of BBC influenced technique of a thin wall cabinet damped by mass loading with bitumen pads. The new 770 features a twin wall sandwich of high density MDF and particle board bonded by a layer of high damping adhesive. Now, the new Mission 770s are not only designed and engineered in the UK, they're actually made here too, which, well, it's quite a rarity nowadays. Mission's parent company, IAG, has expanded its facilities in Huntingdon in Cambridgeshire, the traditional home of Mission, to incorporate key manufacturing, assembly and finishing processes for these specially selected products. The first pairs of these speakers are out now, and you can find them in walnut or black wood veneers. The price for the pair, £3,500. Oh, and that price includes a pair of dedicated floor stands, custom made in the UK with damped carbon steel framing. And finally, we're looking at a company called Perlistan, and they have a set of reference speakers called the R Series, R for reference, and they look to build on the flagship S Series speakers. These speakers feature Perlistan's own technologies, including something called Directivity Pattern Control, or DPC array, comprising a wave-guided dome tweeter flanked by twin mid-range diaphragms, engineered in a single unit. A Perlistan DPC configuration of three 26mm silk domes is used by the new R Series loudspeakers, including the R7T 4-way tower, the 3-way R5T tower, a matching R5C center model, the stand-mounted R5Ms, plus the bookshelf version, the R4B. Each model is complemented by multiple or single 165mm HPF polymer mid-bass units, according to the system size. The R Series designs are available in piano black, with piano white available shortly. Apparently, Perlistan Audio is the first brand in the world to have received the THX Dominus certification. This is the newest and largest performance class of THX certification, and it's meant to bridge the gap between large home theatre speakers and those used in cinemas worldwide. So that might be something which intrigues you. Prices for these speakers? Well, they range from £1,600 for the bookshelf speakers all the way up to £8,100 for a pair of R7Ts. And that's it, folks. Thank you very much for staying to the end of this video, and thank you very much for all of your support. And if I could ask you, if it's all right with you, to just take a little look down below and click on the like and subscribe buttons if you haven't already done so, of course. Check out the description below, that has some live links, so you can click on chapter headings, ideal for a video like this, and you can navigate around this video. There's also other links down there too for my Facebook group and my website and other social media platforms. Now, before I leave, I was going to ask you to consider supporting me on Patreon, because that's what I do at the end of just about every single YouTube video. But I thought, no, I'd offer a few words on that subject instead, because, well, I recently published an announcement to do with a new hi-fi tour project I'm doing on my Patreon page. That announcement, well, that sparked a few comments, mainly from, well, how do I describe them? Entitled viewers, I would say. Entitled because these are people who expect to receive everything in life for absolutely free and become very angry when they're told that no, you can't have that packet of sweets. I mean, you can't have access to every single piece of work I create right now when you demand it. So yeah, I got a lot of that. That said, I did get one comment from a chap who declared something like, but I'll paraphrase this bit. Basically, he said, I was surely earning enough from YouTube, so why was I being so darn greedy? Well, let me quickly address that point, shall I? And I know the people who tend to rage and rant on YouTube channels, well, they probably won't even be watching this. They'll have switched off a long time ago. So I realize that I'm probably talking to those of you who actually care and support what I do. And well, to be honest, I only really want to support those who support me and what I do here, so that's fine. So for you then, here's a bit of, well, insight, if nothing else. Now, if you didn't already know, I'm a full-time, self-employed journalist. I've been on this job for 35 years. This is a job. This is how I pay my bills and support my family. I'm not independently wealthy. This is not a hobby. This is my job. I work long hours from very early in the morning to often deep into the night. Now, I know how to survive in this job. I've been at it for a long time, as I've just said. It's not well paid, but I enjoy the job, which is why I do it in the first place. My life philosophy is, well, I'd rather be poor and happy, basically, rather than rich and stressed any day of the week. So, YouTube. Well, any YouTube creator, well, 99% of YouTube creators, they will tell you that you do not earn a living off YouTube income. For every video I create, and each one takes around, I don't know, 2 days to record and then to edit, I basically receive pennies from each YouTube video in return. Typically, well, for the first week, I might get, say, £15–20, maybe a bit more, but just from that first week, that's peak income time. So that sum reduces quickly over time, and not a very long time either, from the high point, because, well, fewer people watch older videos. So if you saw a graph of the income, you'd see that that income falls off a cliff. So the video income will quickly fall to fractions of a penny, so down from that 15, 20, 22 pounds to parts of a penny. So let me ask you this, how many jobs would you do that pays that kind of rate? I bet not many people would be interested if that's all they were living on. To be absolutely serious with you, if I could earn minimum wage for the work I do here on YouTube and the hours I put in, I'd be ecstatic. The only people who make money on YouTube are those with subscriber numbers in excess of 1 million, preferably 2 or more million. Then what happens is those fractions of pennies, well, they all add up per 1,000 views, and they amount, after all of that, into a respectable sum. The only other people who make money on YouTube is YouTube, because for every pound I make on YouTube, YouTube itself takes a big percentage of that pound, and every other pound I might make on this channel. So you might be asking, why am I doing YouTube at all? Why am I even here? Well, I use YouTube as a sort of PR thing. It's like a marketing thing. It's really to get my face out there. It's to get my work out there, to enable people to see what I do. I've made lots of new friends on YouTube. I've made lots of new contacts through YouTube. Now, I already work for a monthly UK newsstand hi-fi magazine, and I have decent industry contacts that I've made through that magazine, but I've made plenty more through YouTube. So it's worth it for me on that basis, making contacts with people, making friends, creating a community to gain a following, and then from that to then hopefully find other ways to earn money and just to cover my costs and my personal bills. That's all I'm after. That's all I want. And that's why I go on and on and on and on about Patreon. Now, regarding Patreon, I do pay a fee to Patreon. It's not a free service. You do pay for being on that platform, but you do get a much greater share of the income from Patreon than you do from YouTube. There are thousands of other YouTube creators who do exactly the same thing that I'm doing. They'll all give you the same story. We are all in the same boat. That's what YouTube is. That's what YouTube is all about. Don't be fooled in thinking that we're all rich on YouTube. It just ain't so. Anyway, look, I've gone on. This is not a sales pitch. I just wanted to provide some insight and some clarification, just in case you were wondering. I want to thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, folks. Bye-bye for now.